Okay, so now we have our automated functional test here. It's basically ready because it came out of the recording, and we didn't do anything different except update the assertion and the username and the password. So now in theory it should work, correct? Think about it. Take a look at this. I know that you may not totally understand the bindings and the C# stuff, but pretend that the WebDriver is just like your WebDriver that you utilize anywhere else, and then that WebDriver performs other actions as it normally would. And obviously these conventions are pretty similar across all the different kinds of bindings. So if you know that this is pretty similar to your bindings, and you know that this was an output of the recorded test, probably the assumption is that this test should run, correct? So let's go ahead and try to run it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to execute here, and then you can see it ran, and then it got this little X, and it actually failed. And you can see that it failed because no connection could be made to the target machine, which actually actively refused it. And so this brings us to another problem of the recorded test, which was that it was initialized with a remote WebDriver. And so that, of course, may cause some problems on different kinds of machines. It may cause problems on mine, it may not cause problems on yours, I'm not sure. But that's a fix that we have to make to the recorded test in order to get it working. So I'm gonna actually proceed to our next step of the recorded tests, and here is where we're starting to apply the fixes. And so I'm proceeding through the fixes of these tests so that you can see how many steps are actually required to get this automated test to work. Here I named this test test 1 fix 1, so that you can see the fix that we initially had to make to get this test to actually work. I didn't necessarily classify this down here as a fix because it's more of an enhancement, right? It's more of, I would like to have this feature to make my test better. But this is a fix because our test would not actually execute until we made this fix. So what I did is I initialized Firefox driver, and again I'm utilizing Firefox version 40 here, and that's really important because in its current state, Selenium Webdriver is going through a bunch of different changes. So you have to use the right version of Firefox if you're using it. And I prefer 40 because it doesn't give me any issues right now. So again, now that we've made this fix to this test, is it going to run? Let's go ahead and see. Oh, something's come up. No. Look, you see this little X again? It means it failed. If I expand it, I can see the error. The error is that element is not currently visible and so may not be interacted with. And what is that element that cannot be interacted with?